As always, I'm joined by Taylor and Sam, and our wonderful special guest this episode is our boy Bryce. You all may know him from EAG, the big thing out on the West Coast. All right, Bryce, I'm sorry, I can't even say it without laughing. We were all in Discord together earlier. We were all laughing. We were like, dude, we should just troll Bryce the whole episode and like call it not AGE the entire episode just to mess with him.
I can't wait to do the WHO circuit this
Dude,
weekend.
I couldn't even do it once without laughing. I broke
gosh.
immediately.
That would probably be illegal in our government. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, anyway, Bryce, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bryce got some really cool things he's going to share with us this episode. You guys may have heard about him, but if not, you're definitely going to know about him after this. As always, let's start with everybody's weeks in Flesh and Blood. Taylor, why don't you start us off, dog?
I did nothing. I'm just gonna.
No RTNs, no nothing.
No, I mean, like I have an RTN next week. I'll probably play Marlin as I always do. I'll probably scrub out as I always do, but I'll have a good time. That's all that matters. And then I just get to wait for compendium spoilers. And then all next weekend is literally I've talked to my wife. I've sat her down. I had the talk with her. I was like, "Hey, sweetheart, I love you, but next week I might not see you." She's like, "Oh, I understand. That sounds good. I'll make you dinner." I was like, "Girl, you're the best."
Dude,
how about you, Sam? How was your weekend, fam?
I mean, pretty similar story. Not a whole lot going on. I had an RTN tomorrow, but it has since been canceled due to the snowpocalypse that's happening over here, as it's been called. Are you guys experiencing anything over there on the other coast, Bryce? No, yeah.
No, it's there were like a couple the last 2 or 3 days I didn't see the sun 100% of the time, which was crazy. So, yeah, it's getting biblical out here too, brother.
Yeah.
Very, very different
So we're expecting about,
versions of that.
We're expecting about 2 feet of snow in total. Maybe you'll get there, maybe it won't. It looks like a couple inches out there right now. It's supposed to all come through tonight and tomorrow, so I'm hoping to just make it through the podcast without losing power. That's the biggest thing.
It's a good objective right now. Good objective.
Yeah,
You got a backup generator just in case? Backup podcast generator?
Yeah, just for the podcast. When I get my $5,000 creator grant, that's gonna be the first thing I spend.
Like every episode, I swear. Like every episode, I swear.
Oh man, how about you, Bryce? How's your week?
It was good, man. I guess Columbus still counts as my week, right?
Yeah.
So I casted an event called Calling Columbus, one that Zach performed at very admirably, both on and off stream. Besides that, I had to skip locals this week, which was a major bummer. But I'm gearing up for real life stuff in addition to more Flesh and Blood coverage. Calling San Diego is on my list, in addition to one that's way on the horizon that I don't know if I can even talk about yet. But bottom line, there's plenty of Flesh and Blood stuff happening. Unfortunately for me, this last week it wasn't at all related to playing. And I do want to take a sidestep real quick here to say that, holy cow, Taylor, you way punched above your weight class in terms of wives. Like, holy crap. I've never even seen this woman, and she is so much better than
She's
you.
miles hotter than me too. That's the worst part. Back in college, I had hair. It was all just a big joke. She said I do, and I was like, "This is it."
You must have an amazing personality. I haven't seen it yet, but
oh, ouch.
Oh yes, yes, that's brutal.
I'm living evil up in here, dude. I'm on my reviled arc. I'm having a great time.
First 6 minutes, and Taylor's already been drugged through the mud. I love it.
Good. That's how I like it.
I thought this was Drag Taylor Through the Mud, the podcast.
100% it is.
Good.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna cry.
You gotta have a little bit of reviled in you after watching all those revered heroes taking down Columbus.
Yeah, that was giving me cotton mouth watching all those revered folks doing so well. We had an RKO that did okay, I want to say. I'm really hoping to see more representation of Lyath. Like that is a drug that I could get used to, seeing Lyath on stream. It's a total blast.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a really cool deck. It's really fun.
It's hard to stop drawing 5 cards once you play it a couple times.
And I think James White even mentioned somewhere on Twitter that we might be getting his weapon soon. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
I'm actually a little pissed about that. I did see it, but I had been calling that. I want to say on like an AG stream, but also like I just got to see Tommy Fresh the other day on Fresh and Buds, and I called it there too. But I think Jimmy kind of beat me to the punch, and that was like the one time I really went for the theory crafting aspect of a new set, and I nailed it, and then he spoiled it ahead of me. Is what it is.
Dang. Betsy's log is what I'm waiting on. That's what I want to see.
I still don't think you're getting that, man.
It can't be that hard to make. I just need one card. Let me wager on it.
It's a friggin' meme at this point.
It's going to be like a 7 resource, 6 power attack that says you can wager this. It's going to be
Wager
something
for
like
what,
absolutely
do you think?
awful.
Wager the entire outcome of the game on it. Now that's what we're talking
Now
about.
that I would play. I might jump on the Betsy train for something like that. Like,
be pretty sick.
I think. I mean,
You
that
could
would just be a
play
fatigue
like
weapon.
Rainbow Pummel and be like, all right, buddy, we're doing it.
Block
So-
this.
So Bryce, I have to ask, you said that you called that Liath's weapon was coming out in the set, and you've been talking about it for a minute. What do you think Liath's weapon is?
That's a great question. I am not going to tell you what I think it actually is. I'm actually going to tell you the hilarious version of it that I theory crafted with the AG Pro team.
Yes.
Okay, get this. It's a one-handed guardian weapon that comes in for 4. Okay? Pitch for 3. You've heard of this before? Titan's Fist? It's not that, okay?
Okay.
It's a one-handed guardian weapon that comes in for 4, naturally. It's a Liath specialization. And on it, it says, if your hero is Liath, this is actually a 2-handed weapon. And it comes in for 2. So it's a giant short joke. The whole thing.
If me and all of the other Liath fans get trolled this hard by LSS, I gotta tell you, the stream after that gets spoiled will not be pretty. James and company will not be happy to hear my thoughts after that. I will be livid. Oh my god, I will be so mad.
The bandana is coming off.
Okay.
You could take your $5,000 and shove it. Oh, I can't stand for this.
I want to hear your actual prediction because I actually have a theory of.
Crap.
I'm like 95%
Listen,
sure.
I don't actually have one.
Okay.
I don't actually have one, but
Okay.
let's figure it out on the fly. Okay. It's got to be. It's definitely going to be 2-handed because that's the way it looks in bully tactics. I think it will still naturally come in for 4, so get reduced down to 2. If you have been booed this turn, maybe if you've been booed this turn when you swing it, also create a might token.
Okay. Are you ready for mine? I think I solved it.
So ready.
LSS can just take this idea
hold
if they
on,
want.
Taylor. Hold on. I don't think we got Zach's Week in Flesh and Blood.
We didn't.
Oh,
We
think about
didn't.
it.
That's okay.
We did.
Taylor
We're
and Sam
jumping
skip over
around.
me all the time. I'm like the redheaded
Oh.
stepchild who just kind of hangs out, like they just kind of let
I'm
me
so
be
sorry.
here. No, it's okay.
so
It's
sorry.
all good.
No.
It's all good.
Oh, fuck me. Come on. Your Week in Flesh and Blood.
I mean, we didn't really miss anything. My week in Flesh and Blood was pretty boring. I mean, we recapped Columbus last week, where I talked about that. Like, I was supposed to have a ProQuest, or not a ProQuest, an RTN today, and it got rescheduled to next weekend because of Snowmageddon potential. So I'm actually kind of glad because I was not looking forward to driving over the mountain into Kentucky and then trying to drive back over the mountain back home tonight. Because we're supposed to get like 3 inches of snow, and I'm more worried about the ice that late at night. So I'm kind of glad I got rescheduled. Nothing really. I've just been, playing Prism, dreading playing Prism at this event because I promised everybody I would. So
Are you
here
playing
we
Prism?
are.
Are you playing
Bummer for
Prism
you, dude.
next Saturday?
I'm playing Prism at both RTNs next weekend, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Taylor, don't look at me like that, okay? Don't look at me like that. I promised Chad I would. Leave me alone.
Oh my god, screw chat.
Like, they may be at the front door with the pitchforks if I don't play Prism Dog, okay? Like,
God, I'm gonna bring so much Prism
Kelvin
tech.
just doesn't want to have he just doesn't want to have another prism in the room.
dude, bring all the
That
tech.
matchup is cursed.
Bring all the tech. Like, you say that like you think I'm good enough at Prism to actually beat you. You play like 9
You play
poppers.
Marlin, bro. You already got the poppers.
He can't pop with them though, because then you won't have
Like, I
arrows
had
to
nothing to
attack.
do. I was
with.
Codexes.
Oh man, I hope I draw a popper, a codex, and 2 blues every hand.
Dude, it's not about winning, it's about sending a message.
Exactly.
Oh, no, you're right. 3 tar pit
All right,
trap.
All right, sorry, Taylor.
So what do you
We're done
actually
holding
think it is,
priority.
Taylor?
Okay, if I had to put money on it, and James can have this idea if it's not this, it's gonna be a one-handed 3 power. The starting power is 1. If you have 3 auras, it gets +3 on hit. Boo. I was like, that would be so nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be it should be a 3 aura thing. You're right.
That's what I was saying. Like, the whole.
Yeah, it should be.
I really like the idea of the +3 because in my head, like it has to be like a base 1 or base 2, and it gets plus based off of like some effect. That would make the most sense. Like if we were to get like a Titan's Fist that works with like the hero text in some capacity, would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, that'd be such a sweet card too, because then you could like, what's the item that comes in and gives +1?
Concealed object.
Yeah, concealed object at like instant speed, buffing your hammer up by 3, but then +1 on hit, make another might. I was like, that'd be so sweet.
That would actually be a really cool play line.
Yeah.
I wonder if they want to continue to play with the space that they kind of gave Jarl's weapon, where it's a one-handed weapon, but if you don't want to equip a shield, it gets like +2, and maybe it still has those kind of effects. That'd be kind of neat.
Okay, hold on.
Shoot, I did forget a little bit of text on the AG Lyath hammer. We also had heavy imprinted on there. If your hero is Lyath, it's also heavy.
Nice. Even better. Even better.
Oh yeah.
So that does sound like a cool weapon there, Taylor. It's a shame that they're gonna print mine instead.
Oh my gosh, it's all short jokes. Every card for life for the rest of the time is just a short joke. Oh.
You know what's crazy too? They're so committed to the bit that they're short printing
it. Perfect. Beautiful.
I would be slightly less mad about that. I would be slightly less mad about
foil
that
has
being the weapon.
The cold foil is a micro text box just full in.
That would be awesome.
Text box.
I love that even Bryce is just in on the bit at this time around. I'll break the silence for everybody watching.
you do this on purpose?
Oh, yeah. So Taylor loves it. Taylor loves this idea that for everybody listening on podcast, like on Spotify or whatever, they're like, oh shit, did it freeze? And they have to like check their phone because we just sat in silence for like 5 seconds. So we do it every episode as like the largest troll we can possibly have.
And sometimes in post editing, I'll go in there and I'll extend it by 2 or 3 seconds just to double check. I was like, oh, just to make sure. Here we go.
It's so toxic.
I've never heard of a podcast trying to troll their audience out of listening to them.
It's great.
Yeah,
I haven't
probably
tried
a
that
terrible
yet. I gotta
idea,
give
but
it a
it's
shot.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
probably why all those people I referenced at the beginning of the episode haven't subscribed to this point because they hate
Yeah.
that we do that.
Hey, we saw
All right,
your
well, I'm here
YouTube
for it,
video
brother.
was 2 hours and 30 minutes. What's up with that? I'm like,
If you have been doing that bit where you are literally extending silence to make it 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 23 minutes or whatever YouTube can't get over this whole time, like that would be crazy. I just applaud you. The commitment to the bit is insane at that point.
no, I'm not that good. That's like way too much work for me. That's
would
way
be a
too
lot.
much work, dog.
I would be
That's-
wildly impressed.
Oh my gosh.
A step too far. All right. Anyway, bringing it back around to more condensed topics here. So we've got our wonderful guest Bryce here, and something that the AGE circuit is doing is expanding now to St. Louis. Pretty sure that's right. Sure hope it is.
It is.
It is. Dodged a bullet there.
Bryce, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you guys expanded and what you guys are looking to do?
So ultimately, I guess it goes back to the reason we first expanded which was to New England. Our home circuit is in Los Angeles. And I don't think it was ever really supposed to extend beyond Los Angeles. But when I bought into the company, there were new opportunities on the horizon, potentially with LSS. My partner, Justin, had developed what he calls the real-time graphics engine. The main impetus for developing this bit of software was to seamlessly integrate draft coverage into what we do at AGE, and we did that incredibly well. And RGE works. It makes our broadcast function so much better. And now it does a heck of a lot more than just being a draft reader. But I digress. So Justin had developed that. I came into the company because I was really excited about that, and also I was a local competitor at AGE, and it made my Flesh and Blood experience everything that it is up until this point. I also had started casting for AGE because there was a bit of a void to fill there, and luckily enough, it worked out. And one of the things that I thought I could add value-wise to the company was to develop a remote broadcast system, because at that point we could offer our services to LSS to help cover more difficult regions like APAC and heck, parts of Europe potentially as well. And so AGE New England was our pilot program for the remote broadcast system, and it went really well, and it was hard to get off the ground, and we learned a lot along the way, and it ultimately became my first big project that I had to spearhead at AGE, and I really had to push it through 100% by myself at times. And once we did it and we survived it, not only the physical and mental demands of running a Flesh and Blood circuit in a state that you don't live in, heck, even about as far away as it possibly could have been from your home circuit. And we also overcame the expectations of the public. I think we had to have Justin fly out for the first Open in New England, and one of the players who happened to become one of the finalists up against Noah Bagelman at the end of the year, his name is Chris Legg. Justin tells me that he goes, yeah, so we did this, and then we'll be back next month, and yeah, we'll end up doing 8 events and then a players championship and everything. And Chris Legg gave him one of those I'm never going to see you again looks. So I don't think anybody really expected us to go the distance out there. And now that we have expanded once, I think the expectation is very different. Our opening event in St. Louis was huge. It was 53 people all in one spot for a little 1K. And I think at this point, the AGE brand means a whole heck of a lot to a lot of people besides the folks at the flagship circuit in LA and myself and Justin, which is really, really cool to see. But what you asked me was, what are we intending on doing here? My personal dream for the expansion project is to have at least about 6 of these going across the United States, so that we can have the Players Championship be a singular event at one place in the middle of the U.S., maybe not directly in the middle, but somewhere that makes sense. And then every single region is going to send their top 16 to this one venue, and we get to crown a singular Players Champion for the entire year. And we would structure the bracket so that it's a March Madness style thing where you start with the top 16 in your region, you battle it out, you get the best from every single region, and then when we get to that top table, everybody can wave their flag and root for Los Angeles, New England, St. Louis, heck, Atlanta. I don't know if we end up going out there. I know that got your eyebrows up there, Zach.
It's like, dog, you're speaking my language, brother.
Exactly. And so it's that dream, and basically, we would hope that something like that would lead to a closer tie to LSS as we go, so that the Players Championship for the year can also have something like a calling attached to it. We can make it a true celebration of Flesh and Blood in general that AGE is inextricably tied to. That's my personal dream for the expansion project now.
I mean,
dude, that sounds awesome.
I was like, it sounds like the sky's the limit, with what you guys are trying to accomplish. And, I love that. Bryce, when you and I chatted about this at Worlds a little bit, I we kind of referenced how this kind of falls back to, a lot of us come from Magic and a lot of us played Magic and, like we like the Star City Games circuit and what they were trying to do and stuff like that. So to see that with Flesh and Blood and to see like, like you and Justin putting in the time and, and everybody else that puts in the work, for what you guys do, it's just so cool to see, because like I feel like it's went very well in New England, and I feel like is like St. Louis having 53 people at your all's first event is like, I mean that's really cool, like I can think of so many people that I know that would drive a few hours to play in something like this once a month, but I know it's you guys can only do as fast as you guys can do it, but man, Atlanta. I don't know, like if I need to say like Atlanta like 7 more times throughout the podcast, will like it subliminally get in the back of your mind or something like
Charlotte.
I'm
It's
good
all
with that
in the
one.
back of my mind, honestly. We were actually floored by the number. We put out a casting call, for lack of a better term, at the end of last season, and we said we want to expand. AG wants to come to your doorstep, get in touch, and we can talk about expanding to your area. And we were floored by the number of people that reached out. We had a gentleman in oh god, this is gonna be some Eastern European country that I don't want to get wrong. I want to say it was Czechia, but I can't remember. Anyway, we had a gentleman in Europe. We talked briefly with Justin Koo about going to the Philippines. My friend Felipe wants us to get set up somehow in Brazil, and also I want to say like 7 states, including Canada as well. So a lot of folks are really interested in what we do, which we weren't necessarily expecting, especially after our experience in New England. Not that the reception wasn't warm, but we didn't get the vibe that people knew like what we were about and
Sure.
what we were really trying to do in New England. So the fact that there has been so much interest only makes us want to expand even further, and to the point where at Worlds in Philly, this awesome guy from New Orleans came up to me and it felt like he was giving me a Shark Tank pitch. He was like, I want to take too much of your time, but you should really come to New Orleans, XYZ, da 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 da. I got it straight up, and it was so cool to see the amount of passion this guy had behind his pitch for his region. And so I almost convinced myself, Justin and I both almost convinced ourselves that we could do 2 in 1 year. And we have other irons in the fire that basically made that impossible. And I'm really glad that I pumped the brakes. We'll get into those extra projects later, but ultimately our eyes are definitely bigger than our stomach on this project. So we are trying to expand very responsibly so that we don't let anybody down. But just know that if you're thinking about calling us up to come out to your region, we're definitely thinking about it.
Perfect. Okay.
So
Except for Charlotte.
Go ahead and bang that drum
Ah.
so hard.
except for Charlotte, he said, yeah, brutal. So I feel like a lot of people's follow-up question is, you guys have now expanded a couple of times and you guys have 3 like, like concrete scenes that you guys are running through 2026. Is there any more that you're looking to expand in 2026, or are more expansions probably coming in 2027?
Definitely coming in 2027. And the main reason for that is that the AGE Open Series follows the same format wherever we go. It's 8 open events that lead into a Players Championship. The top 16 players qualify for the invitation-only Players Championship by accumulating points over the course of the season. And so if we were to open up a circuit mid-season, we wouldn't feel confident that we would then be able to supply the requisite 8 events. And also, we line up our seasons really conveniently with the LSS OP season, which can make it a little bit difficult to schedule our events here and there. We're finding newer and better ways around that as we go. But also, it affords us some really important downtime in the off season to do things like expand responsibly and undergo some updates to our streaming package and that kind of thing. And even though it is more or less a downtime, Justin and I probably do the most beneficial work for AG during that time. And so we think it's part of that responsible expansion to safeguard that time for us.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. You get the most done in the office when it's quiet in the afternoon when everybody else has gone home. That's when you're able to get the most stuff done.
Do you
So
guys have to
this is
partner
not a
with
this
like?
is sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, go ahead, dog. My thought is still
Oh my
not
god,
even
we got a
finished yet.
Canadian standoff up in this.
Do you guys have to partner with stores when you go out to expand to these locations, or are you guys setting up your own kind of like frontier outpost, so to speak?
It's a great question, and one that I didn't really have an answer to until like midway through last season in New England. Ultimately, what we found works best is to kind of have two flagship stores. In the case of New England, we started at Great Stories Comics and Games. That is in Whitensville, Massachusetts. Sorry, I'm flying for work to Bentonville. Like this, apparently I'm getting my wires crossed. Whitensville, Massachusetts. Store owner Chris over there was incredible, and we had a meeting with him before we started this whole thing, and he just very much shared our vision for what like we're doing to support a player base in a game that we believe in. So he was a terrific partner straight away. And then for our June open, we had the opportunity to also host at a store called Grave Troll Games. That's in Nashua, New Hampshire. The store owner, Katie Lamar, did something incredibly brave with this brick and mortar. She focused almost entirely on Flesh and Blood and Pokemon to support her store. I believe she sells Magic singles and product, but her focus is far away from Magic. She's one of those people, probably like the four on this call, that have been disenfranchised by that game over the years and looked for something better. And she found it just like us in the game of Flesh and Blood. So that was something that I felt incredibly compelled to support. And so the main reason we ended up doing the two-store model was just because I thought Katie was kick-ass, and I thought what she was doing was really important for our game. And so we started doing that, and what we found was that we ended up capturing a heck of a lot more people. The stores are about an hour and a half, 2 hours apart from one another, which like is within striking range. I'm sure if I asked you like, hey, if I set up shop with AG at a store 2 hours from you, would you go every single month? I'm sure the answer would be yes. But then life intervenes. And the prospect of driving 2 hours doesn't sound as enticing unless I had also done an event at a store 5 minutes from you, and you had won one of those events and had 30 AG points on the line that you didn't want to waste before the end of the season. So that helped us make the New England scene what it now is by the time last season was over. And so we are replicating that in St. Louis, and that's probably a model we will want to continue using in any new regions that we expand to.
It's awesome. I really like the idea and the versatility of having the two stores. Like when you said that, I know you guys don't have like a southeast region yet, but my first thought was like, oh, Charlotte and Greenville, South Carolina. I'm like, they're like what?
Yeah.
Like what is it? A couple hours, Taylor? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean they're less than that. I mean they're probably
Yeah, so it's really
Oh, yeah,
close.
like
And
an
like
hour.
you get all the North Carolina, Virginia people, you get all the Atlanta people, the Tennessee people. Like, sorry, I know I'm thinking very selfishly right now. There's somebody in Florida going, no, come to Florida watching this. But like, I just like, I don't know. Like, it's such a cool concept, like something I would have never have thought of. So it sounds like that works out really well for not only like the stores that are benefiting from this, but also like the player base who is happier to, only have to drive 20 minutes as opposed to like 2 or 3 hours. So that's awesome.
Yeah, our goal is always to enfranchise our players as much as humanly possible. It may come as no surprise, but AGE as a project in general is not a money maker. Ultimately, if you do some napkin math real quick, you can see that $1,000 per month, times 8,000 plus, of course, 3,000 for the invitational or 2,000 depending on the region that we're representing. plus a little bit of overhead ultimately means that we need like north of 42 people per event in order to break even, which is hard. It's hard to get that many people in a room
Sure.
every single month for 8 months at a time. And we have a lot of ways that we're trying to offset that cost. But the upshot of everything that I'm saying is we don't do it to make money. We very much do this because we love this game and we want to see it succeed. And also, we are entrenched in the community and we love everybody that plays this game. And AG means a lot to a lot of people, myself and Justin included. Um, and the more we can give that to people, the more games of Flesh and Blood that we can get being played, at least in the regions that we can represent, the better.
Well, it really seems like a passion project for you guys, and I feel like it shows with how much you guys put into it and all of the great things that come from it. So, I mean, to me personally,
Thanks,
it
man.
stands out that like this is what you guys want. Like it's like, hey, lose a little bit of money, make the game better. Make everybody else lives better in the process, which is really cool to see. I do have one question for you that you talked about, like one of the like final ideas that you had for like the big invitational where you get a bunch of like regions together.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to attempt to have that this year between the 3 different regions, or is 2026 just going to be that each region has their own like invitational?
Unfortunately, this is still a dream that probably requires another year or two before it can actually happen. Ultimately, once we get, so I want to get, as I mentioned, at least to about 6 regions before we go for something like this. Namely, because at that point we're talking about renting out a venue and all of these other overhead costs on top of chasing our tails all year long. Now, once we hit that point, there is a bit of an economy of scale. I think the prize pool is going to be much juicier when it's all combined. So we won't have to raise necessarily as many funds, but also ultimately we are talking about a lot of extra overhead. Also, I think once we get enough people into the room, I want this to be a bigger scale event. I would love to have side events going on for anybody that has lost out of the Players Championship. I don't want anybody to have to commit to flying somewhere in the US and then like go 03 drop and then I don't know twiddle their thumbs for the next 6 hours or something. That's once again our goal in pretty much every decision we make is to benefit our players as much as possible. And if I am going to request, nay, basically tell them to get on a plane and spend good hard money on a plane ticket, I want there to be something there for them, whether they win or lose.
Sounds like it's going to be the sweatiest side events anybody's ever played in their entire life.
Well,
You're
heck yeah! If we can get a calling attached to this, now we're gaming.
Exactly.
That'd
Yeah,
be a sweaty side
absolutely.
event.
Right?
One of the best side events.
Oh, I guess I lost. I gotta go play the calling, guys. Oh,
Bummer, dude.
oh, man, that
That's one
sounds
of the good things
wonderful.
about partnering with
I'm
like
really excited.
LSS on it all too.
I'm sorry, say that again.
So that's one of the good things about partnering with LSS for all this is that you could, if you can't actually attach it to a calling or something and set up the stream of side events, that'd be
Yeah.
perfect for that type of scenario. So yeah.
Man, y'all are making me a little jealous that I can't play in one this year. Oh, maybe next year. Maybe next
Yeah.
You'll
year.
get there.
Always
man.
a little bit
You'll get
jealous
there.
about watching,
Oh,
especially when like it first got expanded up to, Massachusetts and everything. It's I was like, oh wow, we're doing that now. Why isn't it over here? I would really
it
like
should
to
have
be a
been
part of that.
me. It should have been me
Yeah.
on there. Dang it.
And listen,
it's like,
if y'all are sitting at home having the same sentiment as Sam, I will happily reveal what made us move what made us choose St. Louis this year. Really, it is what we learned that we desperately needed in New England from the get-go and what we will look for every single time we expand to a new region. And that is a point person that is reliable and wants this thing to exceed as much or more than we do. Ultimately, we found that person a good. I don't want to. I don't want to bag on anybody that brought us to New England. First of all, it was Ben Hebert, part of Team Salt the Wound, who originally pitched us the idea and got us in contact with stores and stuff like that. Ben is an all-star. He is absolutely responsible for the expansion project getting off the ground in general, but he's a father like me, and ultimately his now about to be a father of 3. He's got twins on the way, poor bastard. Um, and
Good luck
he made
in
it all
many
happen, but
ways.
then ultimately, like, just didn't have the bandwidth in terms of his life to like stay on it and help us with the stream and everything like that. So enter Jesse Harper, who a lot of you might know as Talishar Lexi guy. Now he's kind of Riptide guy, and he's just everywhere. This guy is pervasive. But Jesse has volunteered so many hours of his time, and he has become our stream tech, which he was not at all qualified to do, but he just gave a crap about the project enough to figure it out. And he's done a lot of time doing micro adjustments on playmats with me, which is our now favorite part of AG New England. And everything that New England has become and the confidence that we've been able to build up in regards to expansion is in large part due to Jesse. Now, when it comes to St. Louis, a gentleman by the name of Michael Thompson, who is a level 2 judge in the judge program, is the guy that made it happen there. Ultimately, we made the decision because Michael blew us away. He came up and said, expand to St. Louis. I have, XYZ store that are on board and super down. I've also canvassed the area. I put out polls on several different Discords saying, hey guys, if I get these guys to come here, how many of you can commit to an event every month? Now, whatever numbers we receive there, we can assume that like 10% are people that I was talking about before who are super ambitious and absolutely down, but ultimately life gets in the way. But that was a number that made it so we could confidently make the decision like, hey, players are there and they want to be served by AGE, so we can go for it. So ultimately, if you want an AGE in your backyard, we need somebody like Michael or somebody like Jesse, and that makes it so much easier on us in the end.
All right, you drive a hard bargain, but I'll put that on the list.
Attaboy.
Things to get on.
Man, that'd be sweet.
Got a few stores around here with streaming setups. Maybe we could make it work.
Could be.
Sam's gonna be in some DMs tonight. Hey, I was thinking about it. I think I'm it.
I'm
That's
doing
all
it
right.
right
Hit me
now.
up. My DMs are open.
All right, so you mentioned at the very beginning here that your original path into Fab started at this exact store, pretty much, and you kind of more fell into the casting side of this to begin with. Was that something you maybe ultimately always wanted to do, or is that just you sat down and were like, this is kind of fun, I could keep doing this?
Yeah, it was more of the latter than the former. Honestly, my entire journey in Flesh and Blood was not something that I predicted. I have been a huge card game nerd for just about as long as I could remember. Ever since I laid my eyes on my first Pokemon card, which I'm pretty damn sure was the original Starmie, I was hooked. I was never interested in the collecting aspect of any of these games. I always wanted to learn how to play the game to the point where there was a night where I kept my mother up, I think past like 10 p.m. or something, teaching her how to play Pokemon because none of my friends were interested in playing the game, but I was. And she was cracking up so much because I cared so much about it. And she was tanking on decisions for the stupid kids card game. And I was like, Mom, let's go. I got to send my Thunderbolt at you. Come on, let's go. And she just got such a kick out of it. And so all that to say, I like card games have kind of ebbed and flowed in and out of my life. Magic was a big part of, high school and college for me. But then it fell out of fashion. The only reason I really got back into it was because of MTG Arena, and there were easy ways to engage with it. I also dabbled in Hearthstone and Legends of Runeterra. And Flesh and Blood was this thing ever since its outset was kind of just like in my orbit in a really weird way. I had a friend named James who I knew since middle school, and I remember him telling me about this game specifically because he was telling me about the interaction with rangers, where it's like, oh yeah, it's cool because you have to like put it in your arsenal, like you're loading, knocking an arrow on your bow, and then you can shoot it and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, I don't have any time for this. And then I threw a bachelor party for my buddy Kyle, and my other buddy Brian, who I was pissed at for this, by the way, brought 2 boxes of Everfest to this bachelor party. And he's one of those guys, like if he has an interest, he's going to push it on you in ways that I think he thinks are subtle but aren't really. And so the entire time leading up to this bachelor party, he keeps hitting us up like, oh yeah, maybe we can get some Flesh and Blood decks together and play and Flesh and Blood. I'm like, just shut, like, this is Kyle's weekend, man. This is not your weekend. Just stop. We're doing traditional bachelor party things. We're getting drunk and then making Kyle throw up a lot. Okay. Like there's not going to be time for Flesh and Blood. Totally made Kyle throw up a ton, by the way. But after Kyle got too drunk and was incapacitated for the rest of the evening, all of a sudden out come the Flesh and Blood cards, and they start opening these boxes. And I'm still a little, I'm just angry at the game because Brian won't freaking let it go. And then I start taking a look at these cards. Both of them pulled stalagmites, by the way, which was crazy. Wow. And so they show it to me. They're like, yeah, that's a hit card. And so I'm like looking at it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I got the bug. I was like, what? I need to understand how this all works. I was asking them questions about the game. And then flash forward to Kyle's wedding. I had Brian pick me up some Monarch Blitz decks. Chain for me and Prism for my wife. And I played my first game of Flesh and Blood ever in the hotel room, I think the night of my buddy's wedding. And that was it, man. I was hooked from then on, and it won't let go. I mean, every time I pitch it to, for example, a Magic player, I'm like, dude, imagine a game where you never get land screwed. Insane, right? And every time I play Magic now since then, I'm like, this game sucks. I can't believe people would fly around the world just to get land screwed 6 times in a row and then walk away. It's just beyond me. And so up until I started playing Flesh and Blood, I'd never seen a card game that gave me enough agency to lose on, like, because of my own dumb decisions, And that was an incredibly liberating thing when all was said and done. So I'm so sorry. Your question ultimately was about casting, but the point I'm making here is in no way, shape, or form has any of my relationship with Flesh and Blood been planned. Not playing it, not getting endeared to it, certainly not becoming a content creator or a caster. That came out of freaking nowhere. The only reason I ended up casting was because there was a void to fill at AGE, and I just cared about the circuit and thought that I at least had enough talent at it not to royally screw it up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm my entire journey in this game has been riding the wave that has been feeling good at the time and just trying to. I'm not a metaphysical person, really. I'm not an astrologist or anything like that, but I'm like just staying open to what the universe is offering me, and until it stops going well, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
No, I love that. It's like I feel almost the same way. It's like I came into the game by complete accident, and then I'm somehow doing this podcast now by complete accident.
Yeah.
And it's just like every day something new pops up with it, and I enjoy it more than anything.
I feel like I hear a lot of stories like that where it's like, oh, I meandered into this. Like, I heard of Flesh and Blood because I went to buy Magic cards from our local store, and there was a skirmish going on. And like one of my buddies that played Magic was playing, and like that's how I learned about Flesh and Blood. So like I don't know, it happens all the time. I really can't help but echo your sentiment, Bryce, because I feel like twice a year I get this bug. I'm like, man, I just need to play Magic. And I'll like load up MTGO or Magic Arena, and I'm like, God, thank God I play Flesh and Blood, bro. Like, that's exactly how I feel every time.
Oh my gosh. Like I'll boot up MTGO, I'll like launch into a game of Modern. My opponent will turn one, uh, Ocelot Pride. I won't have a removal. I'll die right there. And I'm like, this game does suck. Cool. I'll come back in
I'm gonna go
6
pick
months
up
and try this again.
Marlin.
And it's like, dude, oh, it's, it's probably,
But you're right.
Marlin's
way
the
more
same
fun.
amount of variance as Ocelot
enough.
Pride on turn one. I'll just see what happens. Let's see. Oh man. No, because like I first started the game. I played Magic for years with my best friend Aaron Grace, and then one day he picks up Flesh and Blood, and then he sends me a picture. He's like, "Should I pick up these Scar for Scar promos? They're like $1,000 for 3 of them." And I'm playing Magic. I was like, "Are you stupid? This game has like 5 players." And he's
Yeah.
like, "No, no, 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 it doesn't, Taylor. No, it doesn't. Trust me, trust me." I was like, "It does have like 5 players." And then he goes to Nationals in Florida, I believe. It was the first U.S. Nationals. He comes back, he goes, there was like 600, 700 people in the calling. It's a real thing, Taylor. It's a real thing. And I was like, you spent $1,000 on 3 Scar for Scar promos and you went 2-1 scrub out? I mean, 2-3 scrub out and a calling? He's like, just sit down. Just sit down and learn the game. And I sat down and he taught me the game. And here we are now. We're both playing pretty regularly. Oh, it's been such a crazy ride. I completely understand. By the way, we do not have the Scar for Scars anymore, and that still bothers me.
What'd you tell him for?
Oh, he sold them, but I played them for like 2 years in my Briar deck. Zach's probably
Dang.
saw them more than anyone else when we played all the time. Right at the dome, buddy.
Poor guy.
Thanks, pal. Razor
Sure,
Reflex
sure.
and Lightning Press live rent free in my head because of you, dog.
Good.
Like
Good.
rent free in my head.
Good.
Is that one right up there with Lightning Greaves? Or like
Oh
where
my
they-
god,
That's a
dude.
good-
where they match
Like, I'm
up?
telling
Oh,
you.
that's
So,
dirty.
like-
That's dirty.
So like there's like stream games where I've shit the bed that I have like memories that live in my head. Like, trying to somersault against new, like Battle Hardened against Lucas Oswald or whatever, and then trying to like, not bringing in Lightning Greaves against Prism Pro Tour. And then there's moments that the world has never seen except Taylor that live rent free in my head also. If I could watch those on YouTube at night and like cry myself to sleep, I would. I promise you. If I had like a Taylor playlist, I would make one.
Yeah,
Wait a
because
minute.
oh yeah.
You didn't bring in Lightning Greaves versus Prism?
Yo.
God. Oh, don't even.
You
Don't
have
do
to.
this.
I was
Oh,
like, you
no.
have to be trolling. You know what? Thanks for coming, guys. Like, follow, subscribe. Podcast over.
And Zach through the mud now. I'm done.
Dude, I still watch that game. I swear, I still watch that game. It's awful. It's so bad.
Dude,
Oh my god.
I can't imagine losing on stream. Oh, that'd be rough.
yeah.
Everybody's got to do it once, right, Taylor?
Hey, mine wasn't on stream. Mine's like on some file somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
like-
saw it.
I'm like 6-1 on stream. That one game does not count.
That game doesn't count.
As soon as this started going like 34-12, I was like, this is never hitting the stream. I don't need to worry about it. I can just do whatever I want now. You can literally see the relief on me when he goes like Codex. I'm like, no one's ever gonna see this game. I don't care. I was like, this is awesome, dude.
Silver linings, really.
Yeah.
Silver linings.
I am more scared now if they call my name and there's only like a 1 or 2 person setup. I'm like, okay, my game actually might be streamed
Yeah.
here. Crap. When it was 3 people at Worlds, I was like, I didn't have a care in the world, dude. There's a Huntsman Verdance game beside me. That's taking up the whole slot. No one's gonna watch a Mario Marlin game, dude.
It is interesting to me at this point, Taylor, that like with 7, technically 8 stream games under your belt, that it still like rattles your nerves.
Oh heck yeah, it does. Every time I hear my name, I get a little clammy. I'm walking
Really?
up there. Oh yeah. I enjoy it. I love the games.
yeah.
Whenever I get on, I love them. Because as soon as you sit down and you start playing, you zone in. But it's the walk up there is always the nerve wracking part, and your opponent
Okay.
telling you that they're your worst matchup, and you go, oh, do we have to? Can I just like beat
Yeah,
him? Like, nah, sit down. Sit down, dude. It's like,
Because
oh,
that stream table is magical, man. Especially
It
for
is.
bad matchups. I have seen so many Kasai's rip into Kanos on stream. It's bonkers.
That's still some of the craziest stuff ever. Is the two calling Kasai Kano games and both the Kasai's won. Insane stuff. Insane.
It's so
Yeah.
intriguing that the walk up to the feature match area stresses you out because every time I get a feature match game, I'm texting my wife. I'm like, holy shit, I'm on camera.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
so excited to be in the feature match area. Even though, like, I think I'm like 1 in 3 lifetime on camera. Like,
I just don't want to get like goofed on. I don't want to like go up there and I like make like a
Mm.
misplay or something and like I just like look at chat afterwards and they're like, look at this cheater. Oh my god. We beat him in the back alley after this game. Cancel. I'm like, oh no. I didn't mean to, guys, I promise. I just suck.
Yeah, for me,
Oh.
man,
Oh,
it's
goodness.
the actual playing. I just always do something so stupid on stream. Like I had one at AGE back when Dash IE was around. I was on Lexi, and I think one of the first turns in the game, I was able to drop a Rain Razors, and I send Drill Shot first. Turns out, like right then and there, I found out that it was Fatigue on Dash IE because he slaps 2 cards in front of it, like not even thinking. It's only coming in for 4, but I still react with Rain Razors, and then I go to my life pad, and he's like, "It's still 6." I was like,
Oh
just
my
like broke my brain, stun locked me for a second, and I was like, "Why did I think that was gonna work?" You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, totally.
I don't know. For me it is really, for whatever reason, when I'm in the middle of playing a turn, my brain will always break at least once on stream, and then I will go, "Oh my god, who saw me do that?" Which
Yeah,
ultimately, like, it didn't matter, but like, goddamn.
That's my biggest fear too, is like you'll mess up on stream and then and then the next week you'll go back to your locals and they're like, I saw you on stream. I'm like, don't talk to me. No,
Yeah,
no, you
don't.
didn't, dude. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
I got your ass.
Like, man, I can't believe you got 25-0'd. I'm like, no,
It
no,
wasn't
I
me.
ain't doing this.
That was Kaylor Tofford.
Oh, Tyler Crawford over there. Oh,
So we'll jump over a little bit again. Bryce, who's your favorite co-caster?
That I have worked with, or does it
Yeah.
not matter if I've worked with them or not?
I mean, either
Okay.
way really works, but
I don't know if I can name one, man. Everybody brings something so I know I'm doing the political thing. I promise I'm not in
it's
front of a
alright.
dais
It's
or
alright.
anything. But like but seriously, I learn something so new every time I work with somebody new. Let me say who surprised me most. I think was probably a little counterintuitive. It was Michael Fung. And that guy was, I mean, you saw it at both Seattle and Hong Kong. He absolutely kicked ass in the booth. And my only data point before working with Michael was a little stream that he was on the casting desk with, accompanied by Brody Spurlock. And I think for a lot of people, 2 value calculators going back and forth over and over again during a game is interesting casting. It's not for me. And I think I'm in the majority there. And ultimately, I like, no offense to either of them. They're incredible players, in no offense to Brendan Patrick, but I actually don't think that you can just have 2 incredibly high level players of Flesh and Blood in the booth and have it being an interesting cast. I don't think that's a slam dunk, personally.
Interesting.
I do think that a stream is an entertainment product first. And while we are trying to learn a lot of things and give insight to the game, there is a right and wrong way to do that same thing. So I was a little bit worried that there are some casters that get a little bit derailed when, like, say they'll count up the value wrong on a turn, and then we'll move on to something else, and then, oh wait, we gotta, like, I just remembered, like, I didn't count the vigor token. That vigor token is technically worth 1, and we have to talk about that right now. It's like, just let it go. Right? There are more pressing matters in front of us, and the majority of people have already forgotten about it at this point anyway. So I was honestly a little bit concerned that was going to be our experience, and I could not have been more wrong. And moreover, Michael reached out to me directly beforehand and told me that he wanted reps and also to discuss our working relationship beforehand and everything. And I am always endeared to people that are passionate about the craft of casting and are genuinely desiring to be better, because I am kindred spirits with them at that point. Even though I don't want to be a professional Flesh and Blood player in the booth, I do still very much want to deliver an excellent cast and show to the people at home, because ultimately I think this is the best vessel we possibly have for converting more people into this game. Converting is a horrible word. We're not a cult. But you catch
That
my
says
drift.
you.
Maybe we are a little bit. So I take it really seriously, and even though I did, like, Brody and Michael together were not my cup of tea, I still very much make it a point to do my absolute best. And Michael showed me that he was of the same mind. And so, and also he was freaking awesome on camera, man. He was like, the banter was a lot of fun to do with him. It was not a slog by any means. He made me laugh a lot of times, and he went along with my stupid antics, whatever the heck they are. And I would cast with him again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I am super glad that you brought up you and Michael working together, because you guys have been like two of my favorite duos that I've seen out there. Because I also like the idea of two, like, analytic people together, like just crunching the numbers, is not very it's not very easy for me to like watch in the background, or like, be entertained by. Like,
Yeah.
I could just watch Talishar games if I wanted to do something like that. And so having somebody who is like good, Taylor, I don't know what you're smiling about over there. I don't know what.
I'm
Listen,
just having a
you
good
better.
time. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No, you're not. You got something coming. I can feel
I
it.
have
I can
nothing.
feel it coming.
I have
Anyway,
nothing. What
anyway,
the hell is this?
anyway. Now that I've yelled at Taylor mid episode, I don't know. Like, I just like having someone who is fun and entertaining, and like, makes it enjoyable to like watch and listen to. And then also having a piece where like you can get into the numbers and you can deep dive into like a turn and play by play. Like, it feels like the perfect combo to bring it all together. It almost feels like you need like a WWE caster, like someone who is like hype and in the moment. And then you need someone who is like also breaking it down for people who are learning the game and trying to get better and stuff like that. So I'm very glad you brought that together.
Yeah. Because like the so I fill the play-by-play role, and in Michael's case, he was filling the color role. If you don't know the delineations between those two caster roles, it's very simply put: the play-by-play caster is who, what, where, when, and the color caster is why. And so, besides doing a lot of the housekeeping, establishing and reestablishing the board state, checking life totals, knowing all of the cards, my job is also, in my mind, to be the voice of the average viewer. So I'm constantly asking questions, either directly or indirectly, of my color caster. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I know the answer, but I am being the person sitting at home who might not, or might not have even thought to ask the question, so that the color caster can hit it out of the park and look like, I mean, obviously be good at doing their job, because everybody I work with is really good at their job, but also they get to look like they are doing their job. And ultimately, the culmination of those two things lead to a better product, at least in my eyes.
No, that makes sense. I 100% agree. That is like the perfect combo of that.
Casting is a really unappreciated art. I'll tell you what. I've done casting. It is hard, way harder than people think it is, in my opinion. It is miles harder than people think. Like, oh, they're just talking over gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's way more difficult than that, man. Because I did not.
Especially when you guys do it for like 8 hours in a day, and
Oh,
it's like,
it's-
holy hell.
I did like 3 rounds for like Hong Kong, and I was like, I'm never touching the mic ever again. I'm like, I'm just gonna just veto me out on the next one.
It's so funny. When I started casting, instantaneously, it was like, man, playing a game of Flesh and Blood is way easier than casting a game of Flesh and Blood. Now that is the majority of what I do, it's completely flipped. Like, I am way more dialed in and observant and curious ultimately, which I do think is an underappreciated quality in a Flesh and Blood player when I'm in the booth versus when I am sitting in front of an opponent. I miss a lot more when I'm playing my own game than when I am watching two players going at it, which I think it speaks to exactly what you were just talking about. It is a skill that you have to develop. You can't just be good at playing the game in order to cast well.
I feel like
Man.
the other.
So,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, guys.
no,
No,
go for it.
you
No,
go
I
now.
was just gonna say that, like, I feel like the other piece
You guys
there
are
that,
freaking
like,
adorable.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, you guys say that until I just yell at Taylor for smiling in the middle of like until I yell at Taylor for no reason.
I had nothing to say. I'm just like, oh, I'm enjoying the conversation, and Zach's like, "Fuck you, buddy." I'm like, okay, sorry for being here today.
At like larger events, like Worlds is the one I want to use as an example. You know, like the people who are like in the booth, when you're not like actually in the booth, like recording a match, you're out watching games. You are looking at the feature match area. You're seeing who's doing well. Oh, can we get this like deck on camera next round or something like that? And so like it's this interesting dichotomy of like just because I'm not seeing you on the camera, you are still working, you are still running, you are still doing like a ton of different things that I actually think would be more exhausting to do than to just sit down and play games. I know you just mentioned how it's different for you, Bryce, because you know that's like your job now. But man, like as much as I love streaming and like you know like being like the commentator of my own games, the idea of doing it in the booth, like it sounds exhausting sometimes, man.
I'm 100% confident that you could do it though, Zach.
Thanks,
And
brother.
same
I
with
appreciate
Taylor.
it.
I think even though you've only done it those handful of times, I encourage you to get back in there if you ever have the opportunity.
Oh, given that Michael was someone who provided a special and unique experience, do you have, I guess I should say, a special, like a favorite moment that you've casted?
Oh my God. It's a toss up. It's a toss up between watching, ironically enough, it's a toss up between two moments where I was not in the booth with Michael Fung. The first that comes to mind is calling Kobe, which I casted with Charles Dunn, who was also an amazing color caster. We watched Eugene C. quad intimidate on Reinar
Oh, yes.
against Florian, and it was all the sweeter because it was piloted by Nick Butcher. And he proceeds to he resolves Sand Sketch Plan, tutors out a Blood Rush Bellows, puts it in his hand with two other cards. Sand Sketch Plan then requires him to discard a card at random, misses the Blood Rush, gets 2 action points, and then sends the Blood Rush and does it was north of 22 damage through like 3 cards blocked. It was so sick. And then the other one, which I think it's like impossible to top, was the finals at Calling São Paulo, where like every Brazilian in the room charged Cadu when he took down Florian Christian Logan. You cannot write a better story, and it is so linked to the history of Flesh and Blood and the competitive scene in general. I think that was, and my voice is over top of it. It's surreal, man. It was incredible. The heavens were responding. Lightning was cracking down. There was a torrential downpour during the finals match, and the venue there is a tennis club. It's literally like a ballroom at a tennis club, which basically has like this greenhouse roof. So all of the rain coming down was just like a bunch of freaking forks being dropped onto a metal roof or something. It was epic. There were like there's no other way to describe that. So sorry, Eugene. São Paulo still takes the cake, and there's a chance they're going back again this year, and that is so cool. I would go back to Brazil in a heartbeat.
And you and Ethan both just love Brazil. I have to go. Y'all we had Ethan on, and he said it was his favorite tournament. It was everything,
Oh, I know.
it's same exact stuff, man. I was like, man, we gotta do this.
I was laying into you extra hard, Taylor, because Zach definitely got the short end of the stick in the Ethan episode.
Facts. Get him. Everybody get
I was like-
Ethan.
I was like, I got to take it easy on Zach today. He's been through it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. I love Ethan. Ethan's great, but man, he was giving me the business that episode.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, we're 3 hours behind," and he was like, "No, it's not." Man, that was great. That might be like one of my favorite Ethan rants I've ever seen.
I've never seen you that upset in my entire life.
Dude,
I was like,
I was like,
going into that, I was like, I don't think anybody could ever rub Zach the wrong way. Ever.
Bryce,
Walk up to him,
Bryce.
non sequitur, punch him in the nuts. He would probably shake your hand and smile and walk away.
I'm gonna be real with you. About every time we watch a call-in together with Zach, we'll be in like a Discord together. I'll be like, I'll give you $20 right now to comment in the YouTube. Be like, I can't believe we're 3 hours behind. I'll give you $20. But now he's gave me full editor rights, and I am AgroBlaze 96 now, and I can do it for him.
I
What
have
have you
been
done,
terrified to just look up and see
What
my
have you
name somewhere.
done?
And Carly's gonna be like, "What did you say?" And I'm gonna be like, "I didn't say anything." And there's only one other person it could be, so it has to be Taylor.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
Just wait for this one, buddy.
Oh,
We're gonna have
God.
Ethan on for the second time after this. Just wait.
I think the Bleach Betsy moment might be the worst thing that's ever came out of a live stream ever. That was rough. That was tough.
I
Actually,
don't
there's
know about this.
oh, because it's been wiped.
It was scrubbed from the internet. It was so bad. I was playing against a Fatigue Betsy 1 stream, and instead of leaving the game, like I should have for my own mental, I was determined to try to beat this. And what's the card? Nerves of Steel? The one that like 2 or less doesn't deal damage or something? I was 6 turns had went through with this being on board, and I could do no damage playing Ira. And I got so mad that I told my opponent to drink bleach and die while I was live. It was the worst crash out I have ever had. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
That's actually not as bad as I would have thought.
No, it wasn't that bad. But I was like,
Zach is still a friggin' teddy bear even when he's pissed off.
Dude, it was so bad. And the funny part is somebody commented on my
That is,
YouTube
not even
video.
close to the worst thing that you could say on the internet.
Dog.
Oh, no.
Like, somebody commented on my video and was like, dude, like that's like how I talk to my friends on a daily basis. Like, what are you talking about? That's not even bad. And I was like, you know what? I get that. I have some friends that we talk to each other that way, but like, not when I'm playing cards. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, you're a sweetheart. You telling somebody to drink bleach only endears me to you more. Live evil, bro.
That's right. I'm waiting for this weapon. I'm telling.
I'm telling you what though.
It's gonna be hilarious when AGE spoiler is like what Bryce described, and he is just like trolling me even harder right now. Like that's gonna be crash out of the century.
I'll have my bleach ready, okay? In a shot glass and everything.
Oh, thank you. I finally need a good thumbnail.
Oh my
This is
God.
easy, baby.
Dude. Oh my God.
Let's drink Bleach with Bryce. There you go. Oh, making my job so much easier for this.
I got you, buddy.
Oh.
So, Bryce, one of the things that we wanted to ask you about, we've talked about AGE expanding, you as a caster and like this whole journey that you've been on. Let's talk about AGE a little bit more. The AGE website. I think I saw that, you posted on like Twitter or Blue Sky that this has really started to get off the ground. And there's like an AGE premium and things like that. Can you like walk us through that a little bit and tell us a little bit more about it?
Heck yeah. I am so glad you asked, Zach. AGE Premium is an exclusive content, an exclusive content subscription. On there, we're going to have tons of stuff that isn't there yet, but what is there already is a heck of a lot of really awesome written content, some of which may or may not be by me. I do have one article up there, which I am actually very proud of. It's all about the production side of Flesh and Blood and what I think is going incredibly well in terms of broadcast and also what could be done better. And then beyond that, there's also high level strategic written content about the game of Flesh and Blood. Right now, we've got the sideboard sidebar with Jonah Overholt. We've got theory crafting with and predictions about what next sets are about to be coming. AG Pro Team member Austin Summers on that one. And just dropped as of yesterday is a really killer article about the proper way to think about value by Jacob Clemens. And this ultimately is a project that is about enfranchising our players once again. Obviously, we would like to make some money here so that we can invest back into AGE and achieve those lofty goals that I laid out at the beginning of the episode. But the way we are trying to make this a value add for players and also content creators is by becoming the front page of Flesh and Blood. Right now, so much of what we consume is splintered between YouTube, Patreon, Linktree, Metafy. Ultimately, Fab players need a home that they can call their own and is a one-stop shop for everything that they need to compete in the game of Flesh and Blood and also just enjoy it that much more. This is a model just like our tournament circuit that is very much based on the old SCG Premium. Justin, our founder, was an avid consumer of everything SCG Premium back in his Magic days, and he thinks that Flesh and Blood deserves that kind of attention. I do too at this point. And so besides written content, we're also going to be uploading bonus matches from all AGLA opens, at least at the start, until we can figure out how to do remote backup matches as well. Those will be available only to premium subscribers. Coming soon as well is AGE Academy, which is going to be a semi-open marketplace for courses on specific topics like pitch stacking, sideboarding, all that jazz, or hero-specific topics like classes on specific, Kasai decks, Mario decks, what have you, created by the highest level Flesh and Blood players. Those will be available for an additional price that goes almost completely directly to the content creator, but everybody who subscribes on premium will also get a little bit of discount there in addition to discounts on all events that they attend. It's a 10% discount currently for every AGE event that you buy while being a premium subscriber. I do want to, this is a long shill, but I'm really excited about this project. Besides the written content that I've already mentioned, I've also got Ben Dodd doing some incredible Fab puzzles. One of them, the first one that we uploaded, I asked him to make it really hard. I couldn't crack it. And it was still a blast to try to get done. And then the next two are going to be a little bit lower in terms of difficulty level, but it's an awesome way to get yourself thinking about niche interactions and also unlocking that curiosity that I think is so important for Flesh and Blood players all around the world. We've also got a segment that I think is going to become very appropriate and very fun real soon. It's one of my own devising. It's called the Silver Age Smear Campaign, and it is in the vein of political hit ads where prominent members from the Flesh and Blood community will get on their soapbox and call for the public banning of any hero in Silver Age. They can have good reasons. They can have inane reasons. They can say, I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like the cut of his jib. He said something nasty to me in a club bathroom one night. And so he is not qualified to be in our format. The people need direction ultimately in a time of uncertainty. And so we need platforms like this for people to call for public bannings. That's just a couple of the fun ways that we're exploring this brand new platform that we have. And we only hope that it gets more exciting and enjoyable for everybody that trusts us with their $10 a month.
It's so cool to hear about. As someone, who played Magic and was an avid, Star City Games like premium member, and like all the articles they wrote and all the videos they put out,
Yeah.
it's so cool to have that for Flesh and Blood. But like having that one-stop shop for everything that you need is really cool. The website is live, right, Bryce?
It is. It has been. We had a website before, but now this one is facelifted and already has so many cool features. The last one I will mention here is one that is available to all people that have an account on the AGE website, and that is a ridiculous amount of stats for anybody that plays in the AGE Open. You get a rating, you get you can go back and look at any tournament that you have played in. It'll give you your matchups, it'll give you your hero, when you took your losses, etc., etc., who you played against as well, which means that you also have listed your best matchup, the player that you win the most against, and your nemesis, the player that kicks your ass more than anybody else in the room. So, yeah, trying to add a lot of value to everybody that comes to the site, not just the people that give us their money.
That's awesome. Having like a create your own grudge match against your buddies. Like I would love to, like if we do get, like an AGE Southeast or something like that, I would love to see how many times I've played Taylor and Sam,
Yeah.
how many times I've won. That's such a cool like thing to be able to do. That's a lot of fun.
It also
Um
allows us to tell incredible stories on stream. So now, anytime I am at the casting desk for an AG event, I can have the website open on my phone, and right when I hear about the pairing, I go directly to that player's profile on the website, and I can look up their opponent. If their opponent on the feature match area has played against them, I can see the last time they played against each other, their win rate against one another, and set the stakes that way.
that's so cool. That's awesome. It's amazing. For anybody who has never seen the website before, who has never been there, we will make sure that we get that in the description of the video, so you guys will have quick access to that. So make sure you check that out with all the things they're working on. That'll be a really cool tool for you to use, especially if you are in, Los Angeles, New England, or in St. Louis. It sounds like you'll have even more reasons to want to look at that data.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Charlotte next year.
Exactly.
Don't bet on it, Taylor.
Oh man. Dadgummit.
We'll get there.
Oh my dude.
I'm honestly more motivated to go to Taylor's neck of the woods because I have nieces and nephew. I have two nieces and a nephew in Greenville. And I just, over the course of Thanksgiving, got them hooked on Flesh and Blood.
I'm just saying, though, there's some good characters here. You would get some good names. Just saying.
We were in talks about it. I was talking to the Crankmaster, Emmanuel.
Okay.
It's just, man, I know I'm being selfish, but please not DC. That's too far for me. DC's like 6 hours. I can't justify like driving 6 hours once a month to play. Come on, that's too far.
Do you know the best part is, Zach? If it's in Charlotte, you can come spend the night at my house.
I love this plan.
Oh.
I love this plan. It's great.
This air mattress and everything.
I heard you have some really nice sheets to put on the air mattress too.
Oh, dude, they're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful.
All right. Yeah, Bryce does not know what's going on. Maybe we should fill Bryce in.
I don't know if I want to know what Taylor did to his sheets. I might be good.
Well, that I can't speak for. That I can't speak for. Sam and I went to a ProQuest at Star City Games, and we were going to, on Saturday night after the ProQuest, drive to Taylor's, spend the night, played a local ProQuest there, and then drive back. Well, I won the ProQuest that we played at on Saturday, so I could no longer play on Sunday. And so I went home, and Taylor will not let me live it down to the end of the stay that I did not come hang out at his house.
These fresh sheets I just bought, they were Egyptian. Dude, they are magnificent. And he was like, I'm not coming. I just won. I was like, this is the first time you've ever won in an event. What the hell? Why did you do it this weekend?
Hey, pal. man.
Friends like these, huh, Zach?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, he loves it. Don't let him lie.
Also true. Also true.
Oh my god, is that Agroblaze 96 over there? Oh my god, let's go say hey to him. Oh
I
my
swear.
god. Do you think he'll recognize my YouTube name?
Pretty sure his name is Red Bandana Man.
Dude,
And Bandana Man.
I love when people call me that. Like people just are like, "Hey, you're the bandana guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. Yeah, I am, dude."
Pretty sure
I
I
got it
called
right
you
here,
that
Sam.
on stream at Columbus, if I'm not mistaken.
You did. It was great. When I was rewatching
Hell
the
yeah.
game, I was like, "Yes, Bryce getting it in there. I love it. It's
I
perfect."
get it. Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on X, Bryce Platz AGE, or on Blue Sky, bryceplatz.bsky.social. You can also find me perpetually chained to the Arcane Games and Events YouTube channel. That's where we put out all of the streams from our events. You can also find me on Apple and Spotify podcasts, where my show Cardboard and Beyond, which is a intimate interview podcast with the biggest names in Flesh and Blood, is hosted, in addition to YouTube, of course. Oh, thanks, man. I'm so glad you heard it. Honestly, I never really expected anybody to listen to it, but it's been going really well, and I do need to get back on that podcast beat because I am very inconsistent at it. Let's see. You can also, of course, find me at www.age.events. There I have an article, as I mentioned before, all about Flesh and Blood broadcast. That one is free. You can also check out all of our premium content if you would like to become a subscriber. If $10 a month is just too much for you to stomach, we totally get it. That's why all of our premium articles will become free 30 days after they are posted. We're all about adding value, not just to the folks that inject cash into our system, but everybody that enjoys the game of Flesh and Blood. So get on over there and see what we've got cooking, because I think it's pretty awesome. Thanks for having me,
Thank
guys.
you, man.